His boots crunched dead leaves behind me. I turned just in time to see the smirk. "Thanks for signing over the beach house." Then he shoved me, hard. I fell backward. Branches snapped. The ground vanished. I hit the bottom of the ditch with a thud that knocked the air out of my lungs. And then, silence. No apology, no hesitation, just the sound of him walking away. He thought I was dead, or close enough that it didn't matter. But I survived. Barely. And the second I opened my eyes in that cold ditch, I didn't cry. I smiled. Because the house wasn't his. Not really. 5 years earlier, I married him for love. God, I was stupid. He was charming, sure, smart, funny in a dry, cutting way. But what I loved most was how safe he made me feel. We bought the beach house together on our 2nd anniversary. Oceanfront, weathered gray shutters, a porch that groaned like it remembered every storm. It was the only place that ever felt like mine. He said he wanted to grow old there. I didn't know then that he meant to grow old, alone. Things started shifting last fall, subtle at first. Late nights, password changes, more boys' weekends, less eye contact. He stopped touching me, but started asking about the deed. Then one night I made coffee too late and couldn't sleep. His phone lit up while he was in the shower. Once she signs the transfer, it's ours. After that, we're free. Her name was Michelle. She worked at the bank. He met her while refinancing the house. They'd been planning it for months, to make it look mutual, to make me seem unstable, to get me to sign everything over voluntarily. So I played along, smiled, cried just enough, pretended to believe his lies. He said he wanted to protect our assets, said it was just paperwork. I nodded and signed. What he didn't know was that I'd already filed a second deed, one that transferred ownership back to me through an anonymous holding company, filed under a corporate shell he didn't even know existed, legally airtight, but invisible, at least until the right moment. The night he drove me out to the woods, I knew something was off. Said he wanted to talk. Said we needed closure. He wore cologne, too much of it. And when we pulled off the main road and into a clearing, I knew. But I didn't run, not yet, because I needed him to believe I never saw it coming. After he left me in that ditch, I crawled out, ribs bruised, blood in my hair. I walked a mile to the ranger station, told them I slipped on a trail. They drove me to the ER. I smiled through the pain. 3 days later, I checked into the beach house, the real owner. While he packed bags for a tropical escape with Michelle, I walked barefoot on my porch. Every creak of the wood reminded me this place was mine again. He showed up 4 days later with a realtor, confident, relaxed, talking numbers and square footage. He didn't notice the lights were already on. He didn't notice the car in the driveway. But when he stepped into the living room, he froze. Because I was sitting there, alive, smiling, a mug of tea in my hand, the title deed framed on the wall behind me. "Hi," I said, calm as the sea behind me. He looked like he'd seen a ghost. I stood, walked toward him slowly, handed him a thick envelope. He opened it. Inside, a copy of the real deed showing my holding company as the owner, a restraining order, a police report, and a letter from my lawyer confirming the charges of attempted murder were being processed. The realtor stepped back, said she forgot something in the car, never came back. He didn't speak, just stared. "You should have checked the fine print," I said softly. He opened his mouth, closed it, and then, finally, he did something I hadn't seen in years. He looked afraid. They arrested him a week later. Michelle dumped him that night. Turns out, she liked him rich and untarnished, and he was about to be neither. The beach house is quiet again. But sometimes I sit in that same living room, staring at the fireplace, remembering the moment he froze. The moment the hunter realized the trap was never mine. It was his, and he walked straight into it. He thought the beach house was his prize. He thought I was the weak one, disposable. But I wasn't the victim in this story. I was the storm. And he? Just another body I left behind when the tide came in.